Today I have a non-sticky, sticky, cool tool for you. If you're following along with me, you know I'm trying to clean my studio and I keep putting off the tour to show you my final results, and that's because I am just so busy and I'm having a hard time finding time to finish cleaning and organizing my studio in addition to making new content, rebranding my patterns, working on new patterns, writing a pants fitting book. I am doing so many things that my studio is going to be, I think, reorganized in a snail's pace. I'm getting there. But when I was working on some things this week, I discovered I had a cool tool in my stash that I got at the Houston Quilt Festival in November. And I didn't think much of it when I got it. But then when I opened it up and tried it, I am now in love. You can see in front of me, I have some things here that I've already used it on. What I'm going to share with you today is Hugo's amazing tape. Now, the cool thing about this tape is it doesn't stick to anything except itself. So if you've got things like heavy decorative threads that come on a spool like this. This is the metallic rayon sizzle thread from Wonderfill, and it's got a lot of texture. It's kind of scratchy, and the thing about this thread is it does not stay on the spool. I'm going to show you how easy it is to take off this tape and then also put it back on. So I'm going to find my start point, which is right here. And I'm just going to pick it off, and you can see it's just a piece of clear plastic that grips onto itself but doesn't stick onto anything. You can see it has no sticking power whatsoever. For things like this sizzle thread, you can see it can easily get damaged if it keeps unrolling. See how it's falling apart here? So this was the first thing I thought of, and I'm just going to wind it back up. I'm going to put on the piece I had on there already, and I'm literally going to wrap it around until it catches on itself. And actually, you know what? What I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold the end so it sticks to itself on the end like this, and that's going to give me a tab to get it off more easily the next time. So let me just show you here. I'm going to wrap it on like this. Okay, so I'm literally just stretching it and sticking it onto itself, but by folding it back on itself here, I've created a little bit of a tab, so the next time I want to get it off, all I have to do is lift up the tab and take it off. But the cool thing about this tape is you can use it over and over again. So if you work down this spool, you can use this tape for something else. You don't have to throw it away. I've used it to tame my YLI jean stitch thread. I've used it to tame little spools of thread where there's barely anything left, but I want to save this because this is a pretty color and I may need it. I also used it to catch the tail and wrap the bobbin around, so this will always be together if I need it again. So a better example would be if I had pink left on a bobbin for this pink thread, I could put these two things together and they would stay. Basically, use it to keep your bobbin with your thread, use it to tame your threads, and then if you're a knitter or a fiber artist and you want to save all the small balls of yarn, I plan on making a scrap blanket with all my leftover little scraps of yarn. It works really good on yarn balls as well. Now, I have the 1/2 inch wide tape. I'm going to put a link in the description below, I'm going to put an Amazon affiliate link in the description below for this tape. You can get it up to 2 inches wide. So what I plan to use the 2-inch wide one for is to tame the outsides of my yarn cakes that I make using my ball winder. So if I put a 2-inch strip around the outside, it'll keep it from coming apart on the outside, and then I can spool it out from the middle. Now this particular yarn cake is a disaster. I'm going to have to rewind it. I had a little bit of an issue, but my point is I'm going to order myself the 2-inch wide so I can wrap it around the outside of my yarn cakes after I use a ball winder to wind them. So that's another good use. So on top of keeping all of my supplies nice and tidy, the other thing I'm going to use this for is for things like this. This is my webcam, so when you're watching me live, this is what I'm looking into. And this cord is way too long for what I use it for, because all I use it for is to go from the top of my screen to the plug on the side of the laptop, and then I have all this extra cord. So if you're trying to, manage your cords, let me get myself a piece ready here. So you can see it just peels right off the roll. I'm just going to cut myself a piece of this, and then I'm going to bunch up, or just sort of gather up some of the cord of my webcam here, so it's a nice length. I don't want to make it too tight, but also I don't like how all my cords hang down, off of my computer and makes a mess. So I think if I have it coming into so you can see it's going to be on top of my screen. It's going to come down to here, and then it's going to keep going to the plug over here. So I'm just going to use this little piece to wind around. And the reason why I like this instead of using a tape is because if I need the full length of this cable, I can just take the Hugo's Amazing Tape off. So see, now I've got a nice, neat, more reasonable length for that. The other thing you can use it for in a very similar manner is if you're traveling with your sewing machine, you can quickly and easily wrap up your power cords and then use a piece to wrap around, and then just save that piece and then wrap it right back up when you're going back home. So let me just do this, because this is exciting too. I have a lot of power cords that are a little bit unruly in their storage box. So I feel like this is going to be even more exciting than using it to protect my threads. I like the fact that it doesn't get gummed up and there's no residue, there's no sticking involved. So see how cool that is? And notice this time I wrapped it off to the side. I think you can see that, so I can very easily get to it to unwrap it. So I am going to have tidy power cords. I'm going to have appropriate lengths to my cables when I'm doing my video things. I'm going to have neat and tidy threads with no dangling tails all over the place. And I'm going to protect my yarn. So I feel like everybody needs a roll of this Hugo's Amazing Tape. And I feel kind of bad that I had it in my stash since November, and this is the first time I thought to actually open it up and try it. So if you'd like to get yourself some of this wonderful stuff, check the links below this video. I'll put a link to a few different widths so you don't have to search around. This is the 1/2 inch, which is perfect for smaller things, power cords. And then if you want a wider coverage, I'm going to put a link to the 2 inch as well. So I think this is an amazing, cool tool. It says it right on the package, Hugo's Amazing Tape. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below and I will help you. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing and liking my channel because it helps me grow and I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and thank you for watching.